I've got too much time on my hands, so today I'm going to talk about Girls Frontline, a Chinese mobile gacha game that I've played on and off for the better part of 3 years. It was released to the English audience in 2018 and could have fooled me into thinking it was a Japanese game if only it didn't occasionally glitch out into Chinese. Story. I'm not really going to talk much about it for 2 reasons. 1. It's too long. The game takes place in a universe spanning multiple games. What you see on screen right now could be considered an updated timeline of events within the game if this was 2020. Secondly, there are people out there which are invested in the lore, and I'm not gonna fuck around and find out by risking getting it wrong. But to give the bare minimum of context, in the near future a couple of things happen, including but not limited to Poland escalating the Ukrainian war and humanity is devastated. Our coping mechanism, anime girl labor androids called ADOLs. Fast forward to present day, we now also have first law breaking androids. Where do you come into all this? You're a League of Legends player hired by Griffin and Cryuga PMC for your ability to sidestep skill shots. GNK has in turn been hired to deal with the rogue androids. Using what? Using the aforementioned ADOLs, but with guns. What this means is that you don't have to worry about any casualties taken during operations. Yeah, don't worry about it. Gameplay. Core gameplay mechanics are simple. The game's turn-based and you're given action points every turn respective to the amount of active units or captured strategic nodes on the field. Using these action points, you're gonna maneuver your team and accomplish objectives ranging from capturing enemy bases to rescuing stranded friendlies. Combat takes place in real time, with you able to maneuver your units around a 3x3 grid to do things such as kite out aim timers and evade lasers. Besides that, combat is largely automated. Got all that? Good. Now for the real thing. The game features 6 classes of units for you to use. Assault rifles shoot bullets. Rifles shoot armor-piercing bullets. Submachine guns dodge bullets so hard they cease to exist. Handguns sacrifice a bit of dodge chance for better team buffs. Shotguns eat bullets, which is useful if you have to deal with thick loads of hot plasma. Conversely, machine guns dispense thick loads of hot lead. Many fights won't require machine guns or shotguns, but in the late game, they're gonna make a difference. Throughout the game, you're gonna mainly be fighting 3 different factions called SF, Paradise, and KCCO. SF's gonna be your main enemy and for the most part can be beaten through brute force. KCCO and Paradise, however, where things start to get a little more complicated, featuring armored and force shielded units that can negate your damage to negligible amounts. They also start featuring unit specific gimmicks such as laser, taser, Gundams, and Bradleys that can dodge bullets. Who the fuck came up with this shit? Now I'm going to be honest, at the moment, the game has even more aspects to combat, including fairies and heavy ordnance support, but if I had to cover all that too, this video is gonna be too long. Lastly, the most important part about any free-to-play gacha game, the grind. The game's one of, if not the most free-to-play friendly games out there, with you able to pretty much have everything the best players have after enough time. But that's the catch, the game demands time, a lot of it, and we're not talking 1 hour a day doing dailies, we're talking background EXP farming every waking second during event downtime, and if you aren't doing that, at the very least, you're gonna be logging into the game every couple hours to reset resource logistics or farm skill data. Why? Because of this thing called ranking, which is the only reason anyone plays anymore. What's that? You didn't join the game in time to farm out a limited time unit drop that was essential to the min-max? You didn't have the time to do it hundreds of EXP runs to raise particular units to their optimal stats? Or worse, RNG simply hasn't given you a parachute fairy yet? I'm sorry, but you're probably now unable to take on essential fights or follow optimal combat routes, landing you in the top 5 to 10% bracket at best. Then you're gonna go to Discord and look at the people in the top 100 discuss how they're gonna do another multi-hour ranking run simply because they didn't have the optimal RNG on enemy spawns and movement patterns. Like it or not, the game's main filter is investing time into having specific things ready, and chances are, you're gonna need to be actively playing the game for months before you can even think about getting far in ranking. Final opinion, great game, don't play it. Not unless you have too much time to lose. There are times when the game is genuinely pretty fun to play and poses fights you can feel proud of beating. However, the sheer time investment needed to simply get there is what really limits it. Play at your own risk. Many thanks to the various members of the community over the years who've kept me going and helped with providing imagery used in this video. I'll see if I have time to do another ramble someday. Oh yeah, at the very least, the game has some pretty good music you can check out for free. Links in the description.